Hi, Mrs. Mann's class. This is Mrs. Ash. Since I cannot be with you today, I have created a screencast to demonstrate for you what is expected when you are researching a search engine for an assignment. I have Google open, so I am going to type in the name of a god. Notice that as I start typing in Apollo, I get space missions as my suggested search terms. So I know that I need to include other important words to differentiate the space missions from Greek mythology. So I could type in God, Greek, something like that. So I'm just going to type in God, and I also know that this is day 3 of research, so you have done research with a book and an ebook already. A lot of your questions from your outline should be answered, but you probably have some that are still not answered. And those questions that are left unanswered are the ones that will direct how you're going to search. So one of the things that I know that you guys have to find is a description. So I am going to pretend that I need to know what he looks like. So I also am going to include description. So I choose that because that might be a question I have left unanswered. Notice the hits that I get. So I have over 3 million hits. And when I search, the very first thing I do is look at the title, because oftentimes the title will let me know if this is something that is helpful to me or not. I also look at the web address, because if this is for a class assignment, I want to make sure that I am not using Wikipedia, because anybody can edit a wiki. So I know I have to stay away from wikis for classroom projects. And then I also look at the description underneath to see if this for sure has information that I can use. This one has a description from an ancient Greek painting. I can probably figure out what Apollo looked like based on this Greek painting. So I am going to try this one. Now, once I get into a site, I then, before I can use it, have to figure out if this is a credible, reliable source. So I look for an author. And in this case, I don't see one at the top. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom because I want to know who has created this website. And in this case, I see a Theo project. It's copywritten by Aaron J. Atzma. So what I would do with this is copy his name, because now I have to research him. I need to know if he is credible or not. If he is reliable. This would be very similar to if you needed medical attention, you would trust your family doctor. You wouldn't necessarily trust me as your library teacher for medical advice, but for sure your doctor. This is really, really similar to that. You want to know what gives this person credibility to have a website about your topic. So I am pasting his information and doing a search on Aaron Atzma. So this tells me right here, resource reviews. Remember, I read the title first, and then I look at the web address. I know that WordPress is a website that people can create their own websites, and I see that this is edited by Aaron J. Atzma. So this is not going to help me. And down here it actually says more, that it's for whom I could find no academic credentials using Google. That is not, doesn't give me great hope for the page that I was hoping to use. This is the page that I was just on. So, this is one with his name. This is becoming a bigger issue than what it should. He's an Australian who has amassed an extremely comprehensive collection, devoted, so I can go here and see. And you would have to read through this. The student actually wrote to see how credible this person is. if you have to go through this much and we're still not sure, there, and I'm reading through this as I'm talking, so that's why I'm a little sketchy here. It does say this project is one of the best online sources for Greek mythology, although I still don't know who he is. And I would have to see who this Ted Nesbitt is, and do I really want to research who Ted is? So do you see that this can get really long? And should it be this long in order to look for something? I don't think it should. So I honestly would not use this site by Aaron Atzma. I would go back and look for another site, and hopefully one that I could find. So I know that that one's not going to be one that I use. And here's one that has a profile, and the profile should give me a description of what he looks like. So this is why I'm skipping down to the profile. And again, I would look for an author. This tells me N.S. Gill. I would want to see who N.S. Gill is. I'm not in love with about.com, but it usually has pretty accurate information. If I were to click into the author's name, here's a biography. He's a Latinist and freelance writer, longtime focus on the classical world. So this gives me information on her. This is her education. And hopefully this would be enough to let me know that because she has a BA in Latin and an MA in linguistics, and she's done graduate level coursework on classics, which would include Greek mythology, that she is credible and I can use her information. Since I believe that I can trust her based on researching her, I can now read this site to see if I can answer the question that I'm looking for, what he looked like. And what I'm doing is looking at the bold subtitles, and here's attributes. So it tells me that Apollo is depicted as a beardless young man, and it gives the following attributes. So I would be able to answer my question on my mythology outline. Happy searching! I know you can do it.